What is up, YouTube? My name is Mitch Waterman, and we are back with another vlog. After a little bit of a hiatus, as you guys know, my phone is broken. We are recording on a backup device, so apologies if the quality is not great. I'm doing my best. But we've had some stuff going on, man. So let's talk. So, as you guys may or may not know, I have got a little bit of a niggle going on at the moment that is stopping me from wrestling. I had to unfortunately vacate the Renegades of Wrestling World Championship. Didn't come to the decision lightly. Yes, this absolutely sucks, but I'm choosing to look at the positives. We've got to do what's best for our health at the end of the day. So if we don't have our health, we got nothing. In saying that, because I haven't been able to wrestle, I kind of felt like phone was broken, didn't really have anything interesting to vlog. So I thought maybe it's best to just have a little bit of a break, reset, get my mind right. But now we are back. I think it's time to start making videos again, show you guys the road to the comeback, because the comeback will be greater than the setback. So today I had the idea to do something a little bit different and show you guys my wrestling gear throughout the years. Show you my first set of gear I ever had made, my latest gear, talk through the backstory of stuff, what it means to me, what matches I wore the gear for. So that'll be cool, that'll be fun. But we got some stuff to do first. Right now, as you can see, we are on our morning walk. Today is Sunday, getting it in nice and early. It's about 8:30 a.m. After this, I'm going to be going and doing some of my rehabilitation exercises that I have to do. I'm not going to video it. It's not very fun, not very exciting. Then after that, I'm going to go grab a coffee, get absolutely cracked on caffeine, because there's no other way to start Sunday. Then I'll check in with you guys to show you my wrestling gear throughout the years. All right, guys, we are on our way home. We have secured the goods. Woo! We're not messing around today. We're getting straight to it. Let's get home and let's get to looking at the wrestling gear. All right, guys, the time has come to take a look at this here wrestling gear. Guys, this is something that I've wanted to do for a little while. Gear to a wrestler isn't just something they wear. To me anyway, it is something very personal. All of it has a story. All of it means something to me. And it just takes me back. As soon as I see these pairs of gear sitting there, it is literally like looking at the journey of my whole career right in front of me. So let's get started. We will start with my first ever set of wrestling gear. All right, guys, here we go. So funnily enough, I was actually gifted my first set of wrestling gear. However, I never ended up wearing it. This was technically my first ever set of wrestling gear. And I don't know, guys, I don't know how that would have looked, but 17-year-old Mitchie did not feel like they were going to look great. So I went to Mama Waterman, we drew up a design, and this is what we come up with. So these first ever wrestling shorts. That's the back, that's the front. Look, I don't mind them. Looking back, they got the job done. They were cool, they were different. They weren't the generic gear that all the new guys were wearing. Along with that, I had the matching kick pads that I was gifted. And I also had this made. This is another thing that never actually was worn. Kind of like a Jeff Hardy type Under Armour shirt that I had made. Just because I was 17, I was skinny fat, I didn't look good, and I had enough respect for the business that I felt like I shouldn't be out there looking like that. But actually right before I went out, the guy I was wrestling threatened to beat the shit out of me if I wore that out there. So I get what he was trying to do, and I'm appreciative now. He wanted me to be comfy out there without a shirt. But yeah, this is another one that never actually got worn. From there, we upgraded to the red. I started off in a tag team called H2O with Damian Rivers, hence the name Mitch Waterman. And after a while, I ended up turning on him. I turned to the dark side. So then we got the red shorts made. These ones were a little cooler again. I feel like every time I get gear done, I try and upgrade it and take it to another level. Designed by me, made by Deb. From there, going with the theme of upgrading, we moved on to tights. After a year or two, I felt it was time to move up, try something different. Actually made my debut at MCW in these, my first ever set of tights. Everything was quite orange themed at this point, as we will get into shortly. Same design as the shorts, just in tights form, except these are the only pair I ever had made where I had a little MW in the Thunderbolt, so that's a nifty little Easter egg there. From there, we upgraded to these bad boys. I thought these were really cool. They looked nice, they popped under the lights. We also got the shinier style kick pads for these. I wore these for a few years as a baby face. I got some good use out of these. From there, the Brat Pack was born. Alright, for you Aussie fans, you know what this is. This is an Aussie Rules football jumper. So Brat Pack was a group of degenerate, as we call them in Australia, bogan young fellas. It was myself and Nick Berry. We, I believe, 4-time champions. We would travel the world together, traveled the country together. This was the very first Brat Pack jersey we ever made. The material is quite thick and heavy, so once we got the call to wrestle in Ring of Honor, we got a little upgrade. We got a nice lighter, thinner version that we thought would pop a little more on TV, and this did the job for us with that. These were the shorts that went with it. Classic, just Australian rules footy shorts. These are actually pretty comfy to wrestle in. But yeah, that's the original Brat Pack gear. From there, we wore that for years. We didn't have a lot of variations with the Brat Pack gear. The only variation we ever had made was to wrestle the Velocities at Ballroom Brawl, and that was the year that I went on to win the Ballroom Brawl. The year I wore that night was this gold variation. This was the one and only Brat Pack variation. You can see we upgraded there and had the wings on it. That was kind of cool. This jersey is very special to me. I only wore it on a couple occasions. Like I said, against the Velocities, winning the Ballroom Brawl, and I actually wore it on their next event against Selects. And for me, especially at that time, that was a huge deal for me. That was someone I looked up to a lot. To get the chance to step in there and wrestle him, that was a special moment. And this jersey reminds me of that special, exciting, fun time. Now this one technically isn't a Brat Pack variation. This was a one and done. I only wore this gear one time ever. I got this gear made because I felt like my match against Adam Brooks for the MCW Championship was the culmination of this guy's journey. 17-year-old Mitchie to a guy just finding his feet, to the Brat Pack, to the biggest moment of his career, Adam Brooks versus Mitch Waterman for the MCW World Championship. So for that event, I got this made. A sleek, kind of burgundy looking Brat Pack style jersey. This is a one of one. All these other ones Nick also owns, but this one is just mine. This one really means a lot to me. As you can see, it is in pristine condition. I take a lot of pride in that match. That match meant a lot to me. And Brooksy knows, we had a chat after. These were the shorts with that set. These were the kickers for it. I thought this was a really slick kind of look. I like this colorway. Looking at all this stuff, it kind of makes me want to bring some color back in a little bit. So stay tuned, we will see. Alright, and from that classic match with Brooksy, we moved on to Championship Mitchie. I can't find my original Championship Mitchie tights, so when I transitioned from a tag wrestler to a solo wrestler, I wanted to really differentiate myself and make sure everyone realized this was someone new. So the way I did that was I switched back to the tights, similar design to the older gear too. But what I did was, these are my second pair of championship tights. The first pair was the same design, but there was no gold trim on it. The idea was to strip all the color away. I was such a bright character before this, and to me that represented stripping away everything that got me to the dance. I was now by myself. My friends were no longer with me. I had to do this on my own. So I essentially had to earn my stripes, which this is where the gold trim come in. As I went along as champion, as I earned my confidence as champion, I thought it was time to show everyone that I had earned my stripes. And looks like a slick little design, right? But when you look carefully at the right and left knee, it's actually an M and a water drop. Mitch Waterman, get it? Yeah. You all probably recognize this gear if you have watched a match with Mitchie. This is the classic white gear that I wore for my match against Buddy Matthews. Now you're probably thinking, Mitchie, that looks a little different. Wasn't it white and gold?
Huh?
Why is this one bright yellow? Well, funny story. That night I broke my nose and I bled profusely all over this gear. To me, in my head, this was always going to be a one and done gear. But for Mama Waterman, who put so much time and effort into making these, that was not okay. So I was just gonna leave the blood in the tights, as gross as that may sound to non-wrestlers, or, I mean, maybe it is gross, I don't know. I was okay with leaving the blood stains in the gear as a memento of the match. But Mama Waterman was not okay with that. So one day I came home and she told me she tried to wash the blood out of this gear and she actually stripped all of the gold off it accidentally. So funny little story along with an awesome set of gear. This is probably my favorite gear I've ever worn. I was big on little Easter eggs, especially in my championship run. These little flags, if people watched carefully during my run, every title defense I had, I would have another flag. On my other gears, they were colored to represent each person. On this one, I just thought it would look a bit more slick if they were gold. But yeah, these little flags were all my title defenses. So if I can remember off the top of my head, this one's for Bonza, on Social Jordan. This one is for Stormy. This one is for Slex. And this one is for Brooksy. That is a special set of gear that means a lot to me for a lot of reasons. Finally, we come to the end. The current gear I'm wearing now, completely different look to the rest of my stuff. I think it's really cool anyway. Fans seem to like it. I'm in the midst of hopefully getting some variations made, but these are the cargos that I wear. This is the mask you all see in my entrance. I decided I wanted to go to the UK with a completely different look, completely different vibe. So I thought this kind of look would be cool. It kind of fits the aesthetic. These are the boots I had made. We've got some snake skin up the side, fake snake skin. Sorry, no, this is crocodile skin. Fake crocodile skin. No crocodiles were harmed in the making of these boots. And with that, we have come to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was really fun for me to lay out all this stuff all in one spot, to go over it, to talk about it, to reminisce on it. It is literally like a timeline of my whole career and really my entire adult life, because this is what I've been doing since I was 16. I'm now 27. I'm blessed to have had the career I've had. I've had so much fun, so many memories. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite set of gear was and maybe what gear you would like to see in the future. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace.